All right. Good morning, boys and girls. I'm super excited to bring a brand new Epic book to you. So it just popped up on my Epic feed that Unicorn Island book one, and then there's a book two. So I thought it would be fun to read that today. Sort of like a chapter book, but it's not a very long chapter book. So we'll probably get through part one today. Before we started the book, though, I had you predict what you thought it would be about. Um, Let me see if I go back down. I want to go back to the beginning. So you looked at a picture of the cover and you made a prediction on the first slide of our class kick activity. All right, so now we're going to see if your prediction comes true. So our book was written by Donna Galante and Bethany Stancliffe. And you can see that we have it's for 8 to 12-year-olds. So we're stepping it up a little bit, getting you ready for third grade. And the little blurb that tells us what it's about. When Sam moves to a small South Carolina town full of secrets, she stumbles upon the truth behind Lost Luck, Foggy Harbor's biggest mystery. So I hear the words mystery, lost luck, foggy. They sound like pretty dark words, but here it looks all happy and cheery. So let's see what's going on. Unicorn Island, The Secret of Lost Luck, Book 1. The cracked sidewalk shimmered with the heat of the June sun as Sam dashed down the street swinging a bag from the Full Belly Deli. She'd spent 2 nights of Mom's dinner money on it, but this was a special occasion. Jerry, behind the counter, had even given her one of his fresh-baked chocolate chip cookies for free when she told him that today she and Mom were celebrating 12 whole months of living in Brooklyn. Okay, so right now they're living in Brooklyn, boys and girls. Do you know where Brooklyn is? Brooklyn's a borough of New York City. So she's living in New York City with her mom. And she's really happy because they are celebrating 12 whole months. That's 1 year of living in Brooklyn. 12 months was the longest time they'd ever lived anywhere. Musicians like Mom traveled a lot. San Francisco, Dallas, Philadelphia, Boston. Judy the florist smiled and plucked a daisy from her outdoor stand as Sam headed her way. She handed it to Sam and said, "You look cheery. Daisies are for cheer. Pass it on, Sam." "Thanks!" And Sam tucked it into the grocery bag and ran into her apartment building, taking the stairs 2 at a time. With arms and legs burning, she passed their neighbor, Mrs. Shaw, with a quick "Hi!" and burst into the teeny apartment she shared with her mom. Ow! She stumbled over 2 suitcases by the door and barely made it to the kitchen table without spilling the groceries. Mom wasn't supposed to be home from her orchestra rehearsal for another 2 hours. But Sam heard her talking quietly on the phone in the bedroom they shared. Boys and girls, before I read on, the author put a little clue in here. What did Sam stumble over when she entered the apartment? It says, ow, she stumbled over 2 suitcases. So if Miss Alford was thinking, she'd be thinking, this is strange. Sam wants to celebrate that they've lived in the same apartment for 12 months, for a whole year. So like I lived in the same house for 15 years and I didn't even celebrate that. She wants to celebrate 1 year in the same place. So that must be important to her to be able to stay in one place for 1 year. And she's going to celebrate it. Except, why are there 2 suitcases? Why did she stumble over 2 suitcases at the entrance to her apartment? Because if they were there all the time, would she stumble over them? Nope. But I don't think she's even thinking about those suitcases like Miss Alford is. So anyway, so she hears Mom talking on the phone quietly in the other room, in her bedroom. "I'll get dinner ready," Sam yelled, unpacking the bag. And she boiled the water, she emptied the box of spaghetti into the pot, and she warmed up the marinara sauce, steamed some broccoli, and put the garlic bread in the oven. Please don't let me burn anything this time, she thought. She twirled around when Mom appeared, grabbing her hands and twirling her too, her straight blonde hair flying in one direction as Sam's black curls flew in the other. Look how happy our Sam is right here. She is so happy, and she's going to make this special celebration dinner. What's this, Samantha C. Wells? When Mom was surprised, she always called Sam by her full name. She often said she loved the ocean so much that she named her daughter after it. Oh, that's a cool name, Samantha C. Wells. We're celebrating, Sam said, growing dizzy and stumbling. Mom laughed and pulled her down to the couch. It's our 1-year anniversary here. Sam waited to see her mother's reaction, but she only nodded. And now that we're staying here with your job, I can go to public school. No more homeschooling. And we can get real Christmas decorations. You know, the kind that go in a box and you pull out every December. And we can have neighbors over for a party every year from now on. And we'll call it the Get Wells Party. Get it? Oh, boys and girls, Samantha is dreaming. She can go to public school now, because right now Mom's schooling her at home, which is actually what all of you are doing, but it's not what most students do. Most students go to a public school. Being homeschooled is not something a lot do. And Samantha was like, yay, I can go to a public school. I can have real Christmas decorations because we're going to be around for a while. We can even have our neighbors over. Mom sighed and let go of Sam's hand. And a trickle of sweat ran down Sam's neck. The air conditioner rattled in the window, barely blowing out cold air. Christmas seemed far away. Good, Sam thought. She wanted to be here a long time. I love seeing you so happy. But actually, I have something else to celebrate, Mom said. I just got a new job. Sam twisted her feet together. Oh, did I forget to say it? Sam twisted her feet together, and she asked, Here? Mom shook her head. I'm replacing a flutist who got sick. It's a 2-month tour of Europe. So, boys and girls, her mother is a musician, and she plays the flute. And the new job offer isn't here in New York City, here in Brooklyn, but it's in another country. It's in Europe. It's another continent. Sam jumped off the couch and stumbled into the suitcases. Uh-oh, those dreaded suitcases should have been a clue. All the good dinner smells suddenly didn't smell so good. But you said New York City is the musician's capital of the world. Why would you want to tour Europe? It's the opportunity of a lifetime, Sam, and it would mean a lot of money. She looked around. I could get better jobs in New York with this on my resume. Can I go with you? Mom shook her head. They don't have accommodations for children, and I'll be working all the time, rehearsing and playing. So let's talk about just a few vocabulary words in here. I'm just going to touch on them quickly. Resume. So a resume, let's see if they'll even do it for you.
Resume.
He says resume. We pronounce it resume. A resume is actually, let's see what they tell you
Resume.
it is. It's a brief statement, a summary, and it's an account of one's qualifications. So once you leave school and you want to find a job, a paying job, you have to have a resume. So it lists where you got your education, it lists your experience, any other jobs you've had, any talents you have. So Sam's mother going to Europe to play play the flute with different orchestras is really going to help her resume, and it's going to help her get better jobs in New York. And then Sam, of course, wants to go, right? Mom, can I go with you? But Mom shook her head. They don't have accommodations for children, right? They don't have a place for you to sleep, for you to eat. They can't accommodate children. It's only for adults. So Sam can't go because whoever hired her can't accommodate or doesn't have accommodations for children. All right? They don't have beds, they don't have food, they don't have a place for them to hang out while the orchestra is playing. They don't have a place for them to travel, like on a bus or a plane. And it says, I'll be working all the time, rehearsing and playing. What do you think the difference is between rehearsing and playing? What do you think? So rehearsing means you're playing the flute. Playing means you're playing the flute. Do you know what makes the difference? Rehearsing means you're practicing and getting better. Playing means you're doing it for a paying audience, an audience who paid to see you, and you better have it right. Sort of like when you study for a quiz, so you're practicing, and then you take the quiz, and you better get 100%, or do your best effort. That's all we ask. Oh dear, so let's go back to poor Sam. Sam's nose burned as tears filled her eyes. Where would I go for the whole summer? Mom stood and shook Sam's hands. Mom stood and took Sam's hands. With your Uncle Mitch. She pulled her hands away. I don't even know him. And the spaghetti pot boiled over with a loud bubbling rush, and Sam ran into the kitchen and turned it down, crying hard. And a bitter smell filled the air. She'd forgotten to stir the marinara and had put the flame on too high. And then she pulled off the lid and stirred it, but the spoon stuck in the mess on the bottom. And she checked the broccoli only to discover it turned into a big pile of mush. And she opened the oven door and smoke poured out. And the garlic bread was nothing more than a burnt brick. Dinner was ruined again. She couldn't do anything right. Not make dinner, not keep her friend Felicity, not finally get the chance to go to public school, not convince Mom to stay in New York. She plopped down in a chair at the table, wiping her face. Oh, boys and girls, is it Sam's fault that the dinner was burnt? Poor Sam, what do you think? Do you think it was her fault? She was just trying to do the right thing for her mom. She was trying to cook a special dinner to celebrate their year in New York. And then everything went wrong and dinner was burnt. Did that ever happen to you? You were trying to do the right thing. You were trying to do something nice for somebody, or something nice, and it just was ruined. That happened to Miss Alford once. Miss Alford learned how to use her lawnmower. She thought she would do a favor for her family and mow the lawn, except for I ran over the dog's chain and it broke the chain and the dog got loose. And well, that didn't go well. So I sort of know how Sam feels. But Sam is just having everything's going wrong for Sam. So Mom says, you spent time with Uncle Mitch and my sister Sylvie until you were 2 years old. Mom sat down across from her. And he knows you, Sam. I send him photos and I tell him about you all the time. And he sends us money to help us out. He may only be your uncle by marriage, but he's still family and he cares for you. But he lives so far away, in South Carolina. Sam picked at the ripped plastic tablecloth. Uncle Mitch loves it there. He's got so much space in a real house. Much more than this. And the beach is right there. How come we've never seen him since I was 2 then? Mom picked at the tablecloth now, not meeting her gaze, not meeting her eyes. We travel a lot, and he never leaves Foggy Harbor. He works there all the time, on special projects. But he's the only family we've got. Yes, and now it's time you got to know him, Mom smiled. It'll be fun. You'll learn about all the famous shipwrecks and pirates off the Carolina coast from him. Her smile faltered. Plus, there's no one